With the rise of social media like Twitter and Facebook, many celebrities have had to deal with false media reports, and being that these two lovebirds are famous, they have paid the price of fame and learned how to deal with the pressures of their career.
I think, thankfully, we've been in the industry for some time. Initially, in the beginning, it was confusing for me to understand why would someone say such a thing about me or such a lie about me, and it used to disturb me. Why does this person hate me and they don't even know me? You know, just from a comment or something. It disturbed me a lot. And one advice I got from my mom, and she always told me, whatever you do, you will never be able to please everyone. Even if you try how, there will always be a section of people who will just not be pleased with you. So that I began to understand that and accept it. So thankfully we're both in the industry, so we understand each other's pressure, understand the game now more and more. Social media now has brought a different kind of perspective. Now social media has given people who have no facts a mouthpiece. We read a lot of stuff that, of course, us being both of us known, we are target, because the people always want to read about it. So we realized it at some point and said, wow, we'll be always seeing and reading things that are not true and are all fabricated or partly not true, whatever it is. So how do we deal with it? So we try as much as possible to be very open with each other, yeah? So that we're prepared for everything and anything. Now, do we respond to it? So now a lot of stuff is normally not true because they just want to create a story. Bloggers. So the point is normally for us, we're like, okay, we know what the intention is to get traffic and what. Do we respond to such things? Mostly we say no. Because the more you respond, the more becomes a story, and people are like, oh, he responded. Oh, so what? So even people who didn't know about it now, the unfortunate thing about it is, even if you say it's not true, they will say it must be true. You know, like, even if you've clarified,
denying that
it's denying
that
is
true.
true. You know, you're like, it doesn't help, because even if you deny, they'll still say it must be true. If it was written, it must be true. So we leave it. It's very hard to believe that there are some people who are reading something and believing it, and it's not true. It's a hard thing to do, to just leave it. You get my point, eh? It's very hard. Like, personally, I struggle with the fact that I know people are walking around believing something they've read and I know it's not true, and there's nothing I can do. I just keep quiet. You get it? However, there are points that we say we must comment. You get my point? And that this is going too far, you know, and we must let people know that, you know, by the way, you know, some of these things that they write are not true. So when you're reading something, read it with a pinch of salt. Especially for people who we care about and might be wondering, you know, what they're reading is true. So that's how we have tried to deal with it. Some things we ignore and say it's part of our lives. We chose to be in this world, and human beings can be sometimes very malicious. Accept it and move on.
Last born is nameless.
Last born at the very far last. She is 10 years younger.
Older.
He is 10 years older than Nameless. Nameless is a baby, as far as we are concerned.
You know, he had to warn me, or to tell me that people are saying this, which is not true. So we just, because we know these papers, sometimes they don't talk the truth. And because we believe in our son. And if there is a problem, we are going. The only thing I do is just to pray, because where can you take people? Where can you take them? And they are big people, and somebody has thought to damage your name because of one thing or a jealousy or something else. I don't understand. But what do? We support them. We encourage them to know that this thing will go, because it is not true.
Sometimes we say it's important for the sake of the family and our kids that we must make a counter comment so that people will have something to say,
to fall back on and say, thank you, we
true.
were waiting for you
wondering.
to say something.
So there are sometimes if we've replied to some malicious stories that that people write about us. Sometimes we just say, it's gutter.
Leave it.
Leave it alone.
It's not
normal.
worth
It's
it.
like our lives. Yeah. But how can someone do this? That's what. When you watch pastors doing all the crazy things they do, we watch house girls. You know, you get shocked. How can a house girl? You saw the one that was beating the kid. How does a human being do that? You know? That's a wild. There are some sick individuals. You get my point? Yeah. Now you don't beat yourself about it. You just say, you know what, move on. Just avoid them. Avoid them and don't deal with them. So there are some psychopaths out there who will do stuff and say stuff and hate for no reason. Just focus on your work, protect the family, and keep moving. Yeah.
I think for me, the first time I ever encountered something like, some negative and untrue story about myself, it was a long time ago, couple of years ago, and what this guy did, he's a guy of the press, he called me, he actually called me, and he asked me, this was before I got married, yes, yes, I had a boyfriend, but he just called me and asked me, are you pregnant? From nowhere, he asked me, are you pregnant? No, I don't know where that question is coming from. No, I'm not pregnant. Next thing I go and see the heading on the particular paper, Wahu denies pregnancy. I'm like, come on, you can't do that, because what people take home is that I'm refusing and it's true. Why are you refusing? And it's true. And I remember that we were in a very nice place, and we'd gone to that place. We were in a nice place having a holiday and chilling, and then it's actually a friend of mine who called me and said, have you seen the Gazette today? And I'm like, no, what is it? And she told me the story. So I came, and I was so sad for me, because I'm like, why would you want to do this for me? You're trying to drive traffic, create a buzz, all that at my expense. What have I done to you? What's going to happen 4 or 5 months from now, from that time, is that you will not see a bump. Yeah? Because I was never pregnant in the first place at that point, So what will people conclude? She had an abortion. And I'm like, why are you so malicious, trying to destroy someone's reputation, trying to do that? You have no foresight. You don't care about anything else but about what you're doing right now. You don't care who you step on. You don't. And I was very upset, and I even met with that person, and he apologized in person. But that was it. But I think at that point I also made a mental decision. If I let these things get to me, they will get to me, and get to me in a very serious way, because I was down. I'm like, why would you do that to me? My mother's friends calling my mother, saying, your child is pregnant. I'm not. So for me, I think the other thing that I've learned as I go, and with every situation, and this is what I say, it's something that has an impact on you, can either make you better, make you worse. It won't leave you the same, And what I've learned along the path and in this career and being a mother now, there's some things for me I have to prepare my children for. There's some conversations I have to have, especially with my firstborn, who is now 8 years old, who will hear things in school, who will hear things on the radio, and she can now understand what, like, hey, mommy, what are they saying about this? They're talking about you. They're saying this. They're saying this. And we have to have certain conversations with her just to prepare her, to arm her, and to tell her, if you ever have a question, there's a way I have to approach my parenting. I'm like, if you ever wonder about anything, come to your mom or dad. We will never lie to you. We will tell you the truth. Number 2, also just to tell her, there are people who like us and there are people who don't like us, and sometimes they'll say bad things that are not true, and just prepare her, because it's life in whatever circle, whether of your circle of influence, whether it's your place of work, whether it's your house, wherever it is, there'll always be that one person who will not have very nice things to say about you. And it's important also to know how to protect yourself from, I mean, that's your opinion. Really, that's it. It's not the truth. It's not you. It's just that. So for me, I'm finding that it's becoming more and more a reality for me. Like, I have to really reinforce, especially to me, so that she's aware and of what are the possibilities out there, you know, and also telling her to focus on what's positive about life. What's positive? Don't pay attention to the bad stuff. Pay attention to the good stuff. Yeah. So that's how for us it is. I mean, we have external ways of dealing with it, especially the negative, and now at least the people that we care about, which is our immediate family and our very close friends, you know, they know us. They don't even call to ask us some things. They're like, it's just stories, you know. Yeah, so it's about managing the larger circle of people who are warm towards us and are concerned about us and are positive about us. And, you know, so that's why from time to time we'll feel like we need to comment so that guys know where we are.